Hi, everybody. It's Georgina from RadioHighwayPirates.net. Thank you for joining me again. Now, tonight's one of those nights to watch a movie. Let's not make it a Netflix kind of night, shall we? Let's make it a heavy metal movie kind of night. Now, first in line is This is Spinal Tap. Now, this was presented as a documentary of the fictional band Spinal Tap, and it follows this fictitious British heavy metal band as they embark on like this comeback tour of America. It's a parody of metal bands that ever was, and it's full of like all these hilarious moments that a band experiences with like they have these setbacks and they have these stage mishaps. It's definitely a great one in the top of my list for sure. Next in line that seemed like a kind of cool pick was Detroit Rock City. And this was filmed back in 1999, but it was actually set in 1978. And it kind of follows these four teenage musicians determined to see, their idols Kiss live. So these four teenagers kind of find themselves in like all sorts of trouble on their way to the concert, and it's really interesting and cute. So what you have here is basically like an equal part of a road trip comedy, and then you have like this smush of like this coming of age film, and it's just like an amusing look of 1970s in America. Now, you guys know I do reviews from the Metal Pit as well every so often. And it was funny, I was chatting with Blake Mossy and Deathgasm came up. And Deathgasm is a horror comedy from New Zealand. And it basically follows a teenage metalhead who was forced to move to a new town. And he's, the metal outcast. And he gets befriended by some fellow metal fans, and they decide to start a band. So the teenagers, they come across this satanic song, and they want to add it to their repertoire. But in the process, what they do is they unleash demons in their small town. So it's kind of a throwback into like a classic horror film. Because if you remember Evil Dead, townspeople became possessed. So the film piles on the gore as the bands fight to end the satanic panic that they kind of unleashed on all these innocent people. Up next is Airheads, and this is about an amateur band called the Lone Rangers, and they hijack a radio station to get their music on the airwaves, and it just becomes a hilarious crisis. And Airhead stars Brendan Fraser, Stephen Buscemi, and Adam Sandler, and these guys are like the clueless band members who find themselves way in over their heads. The next one in line is Metalhead. This came out in 2013, and it's a drama film from Iceland, from Europe. And Metalhead basically tells a story of a young female teenager by the name of Hera, and she loses her brother in a farming accident, and she's just kind of grief-stricken. And what she does basically is she immerses herself in the genre, in heavy metal. She learns to play his guitar, and she adopts his metal fashion sense as a way to kind of deal with her sorrow, and still connect with her deceased brother. And she's wearing corpse paint and dark clothes, and amongst the church-going community where she resides, it kind of makes her into an outsider. But all in the same, it kind of offers her a sense of belonging and purpose to the metal lifestyle. And let us not forget Wayne's World. And I'm a 90s kid, and I remember when this came out, and this kind of catapulted and launched Michael Myers' career, and also Dana Carvey, who played Garth. And it was basically two metal fans who create their own like TV show. When a commercial station offers to broadcast them, they kind of like jump at the opportunity, but they find that the show is going to change for the worse. The next one I want to divulge into is Metallica Through the Never, and I believe this came out in 2013. And this is like there's a mix of what's going on in this film. You have part live concert and then a part live feature film, and it kind of shows the immortal band playing their greatest hits while a roadie races through the city to collect an item for the band. The great thing about this film is that you get to kind of see James Hetfield and everybody else blast through some of their classics. I'm going to try to keep this list short, but the next movie I'm going to kind of get into, which is probably the most serious one and the most compelling out of all the other movies that I chatted about, is The Sound of Metal. And this movie kind of is jam-packed with emotional and powerful performances. And the actor, Riz Ahmed, plays a heavy metal drummer who is coming to terms with the fact that he is losing his hearing. And this is a must-watch. I love this movie, not just for fans of heavy metal, but anyone with a heart. And it's a truly astonishing piece of filmmaking. Definitely highly recommend this. And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. Keep it heavy and have a great night. Bye.